Spooky yoga. Hey, it's Halloween month. So, this is one of my Halloween classes. And the word that I drew for my class today was spontaneity. And I thought, wow, that really goes with my fun Halloween theme. You can't see my hands. I have to move that back a little bit. So, be sure that you have your equipment that you need. Bolster's nice, or you can substitute a pillow. Blocks are nice. You could substitute small pillows for those possibly. A blanket, an eye mask, and a spooky fun way of thinking today. We're going to be doing well-known yoga poses, but I have put a twist to it and added new spooky names. Oh, I got to get my spooky gloves back on. I took them off a while ago. I'm still watering the grass, so I just went out and switched it to off until I get finished because I try to do each section 30 minutes. Oh my gosh, it takes all day long to get around the whole yard front and back. So we're going to begin in, I call this one tombstone pose, which you formerly knew it as Tadasana or mountain pose. Don't we look like a tombstone? Nice, straight, tall posture. Make sure that you are hip width apart and your back is nice and straight, head over shoulders, or neck over shoulders. I guess the head's over the shoulders too. And don't be like sticking your booty out or your pelvis out too far. Get that nice alignment like you might see in a graveyard. So we're going to start in tombstone pose, doing some warm-ups. And I thought of some cool things to do with our fingers. We're going to do spider fingers. So it's just a warm-up to get our fingers warmed up. Just clenching and spreading like for the spider crawling up a wall. And let's do about 10 of these while you're here in this nice, strong marble tombstone pose. Make sure that you are pulling in your abdominal cavity, all of the stomach, or otherwise known as Uddiyana Bandha. Spreading and letting them go. Whew. Poof, hocus pocus. Okay, and then I learned this from one of my students in chair yoga. He just found out he's got arthritis of the fingers, and they told him to do this exercise, which I thought, oh, this is a great one. You're going to take your thumb. Well, first let's do the thumb. We're going to take our pointer finger and press on the thumbnail and just hold it for a couple of seconds. And now we're going to take our thumb and press on each fingernail. I'm really holding it. I'll come up close so you can see. Really holding that and let go. And this will help to strengthen and reduce inflammation in the fingers. I got my skeleton on. Ooh, and my skeleton pants. And here we go. Oh, yeah. Now let's go back and do that one more time. So, show you I'm holding the thumbnail with the pointer finger. Trying to keep my finger straight. That's really hard. And then now each finger. One more time on each finger. Back into my tombstone pose here. I think Halloween is a lot of fun. It was one of my favorites with the kids. I think it's so much fun because you're not really having to bring presents. You're just going out and collecting candy, which is always a fun thing. Now let's shake our hands out. That is a lot of strengthening in our fingers. So let's take our fingers and clasp them together. And then we're going to turn them wrong side out for a little stretching. That feels really nice after that tight holding with the thumb nail and the fingernail. Oh yeah, feels good. You can bring it in front, and then that opens the back. You can bring it overhead. Ah, don't look up. Don't go back too far. Just so that you're gazing at the ceiling and where the wall meet. And then let go and shake it out. Shake it out. Now we're going to build a spider web. So we're spinning our web. I had a student yesterday and we did this. And we spun our web and then she kept going. And I said, you can quit now. And she goes, well, I'm reversing what I did. And I was very impressed because I'm just going every which way. I don't think I could reverse my movement. So I'm spinning, getting it to the top of the tree and attaching it down on the ground. Spin. And if you haven't noticed, we're spinning and stretching the whole back out, actually. Stretch it up high. Oh, yeah. Yeah, stretch. Oh, 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 oh. Doing my zigzag. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I want to catch some critters in my net. How about you guys? And I think we're done. We're going to rest our spider hands. And then we're going to do our spider feet. So we're going to press the toes into the mat like you're going to crunch them up. And then release. Crunch them up. And release. Let's do this 5 times. 3, crunch. Crunch. Really dig those toes into the mat. And release. Crunch. This is a great exercise to keep the toes limber and your muscles on your feet strong, because when you're clenching, you're using those muscles that we don't think too much about, but our feet have to help hold us up all day long, walk us around. If you're into jumping or doing Zumba or dancing or volleyball or whatever you do, you want to keep those feet nice and strong. Now we're going to take and just press the big toe down and keep the other toes up, which is really hard because the toes are really all connected to a couple of tendons, but it's good to try. Press big toe down and up. Other toes are remaining up. Remember, big toe down and up. And now we're going to press the little toe down. Put all the toes down. We're going to try to raise up all the toes but the big toe. Yes. All the toes. Whoop. My big toes came up. Oh, I did it. Got all my toes up but the big toe. You have to, it's also a brain teaser because it's really hard to think about this. Now I've got all my toes up. I'm going to try to, except my big toe, and I'm going to try to press my little toe down without the other toes. Oh man, that is very difficult. I think that I'm a hairline away from having all the toes touching, but I'm trying. Now let's shake it out. And we're going to do our elbow joints. Just swinging the elbows around because we're going to be doing some things using our elbow joint, our wrist joints, all of our joints, our knee joints, our ankles. And so we want to make sure they're loose and warm before we start doing pressure with them. Now let's, if you need your chair for balance, and that's why I said always bring a chair to class, because sometimes you have a better balance day than other times. And I am still regaining my balance from when I broke my metatarsal bone over there. The left leg is still, my ankle is weak or something, I don't know. But I don't have as good a balance as I did have, which wasn't 100%, but it was a lot better. I'm about 80% back where I was, so I'll put it that way. So we're rotating our ankle, our knee is up. This also helps to work your core, especially if you're balancing. And I'm just rotating one way and the other. Now let's do 5 knee circles. 2, 3, 4, 5, and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to open up our hip flexors by just knee out and in. Knee out and in. Out, in, out, in. One more time. Out and in. And place that right foot down. Now we're going to go to the left. And we're going to do some ankle circles. The right leg is a lot better balance than the left. And reverse that, because I was still using the right leg to walk, but in that boot, you can't move your ankle around or anything, and I couldn't walk without it at all. I had to make sure I put it on before I got up in the morning. Now it's our knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoa, really off. And open up your hip flexor. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And let's walk it out. I'm walking up, pointing my toe, prancing like a horsey. Yes, it kind of looks like horse legs to me. Okay, I got into that. That was fun. So, next, let's see if we did everything. I think we forgot the shoulders. Oh, we're going to do zombie neck and shoulder rolls. So zombie neck and shoulder rolls is next. So, you know, everyone's watched the zombie and they kind of walk around. So just have your neck loose and roll your shoulders. And you can go if you want and reverse. So it's a little bit of a different shoulder roll. We're kind of swinging our arms like the zombies do, coming at you. Get your mouth going. You can do jack-o'-lantern smiles and frowns. Okay. Shoulders up and down. Up, down, up, and down. Now let's do our jack-o'-lantern smiles and frowns. So, jack-o'-lantern smile. You can do scary. Oh, and frown. Smile. Frown. Scary faces. One more time, a jack-o'-lantern smile. I'm going to do a crooked one this time. Hey. It looks like ER. Ha. And a nice frown on the other side. I'm going to reverse that and bring this lip up and this lip down. A jack-o'-lantern and other side. Now that one goes down. That's hard to do. Okay, I hope you had fun with my spooky phrases and having fun. It's all about having fun and being spontaneous in things that we do from every day. It's good to change things around. We're going to do, oh, this is a fun one. After we did our warm up for the knees, we're supposed to do trembling legs. Ooh, what did you see? Scary. Tremble the legs. Oh, yeah. Tremble. Tremble up. Tremble down. Tremble up. Tremble down. Tremble up. Tremble down. Tremble. All right. I wish that I had people here so I could gauge if you are having fun or if you're like, who is this wacky woman? I'm Terry, by the way, and I am glad that you're here to do my class with me, we're going to do bat arms, otherwise known as airplane arms. So let's get our arms up. This helps to strengthen the arms and to lubricate the shoulder joint. And then reverse. Keep them up. We're doing little circles. Trying to do maybe 10. Now we're going to do big circles. 2, 3, holding that gut. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and reverse. And if any time we're doing something too long, maybe you're a beginner and you don't have the strength yet, just stop and just be in a nice, comfortable position and stay that way, or start back if you feel up to it. My arms are getting a little tired now. Okay, now we're going to flutter them up and down with our bat arms. This looks more like a bat. Here we go. We're flying so gracefully. You see my back is still straight. Flying. Let's go faster. Something's after us. I don't know what eats bat. An owl. An owl. Ooh, an owl's after us. And go, 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 go. And soar. Should I give you a break on your arms? Yeah, bring those down nice and easy. Now we're going to do the monster mash, or otherwise known as washing machine. And this has to be a newer yoga pose because I do not think that the people had washing machines back then. I don't know, but I love this pose. It's really good. When you're doing it, you notice my toe on the opposite swing is coming up off the mat, not really off the mat, but onto my tiptoe. That protects your knee. Make sure you're doing that. I am gently letting my hands hit, that's the wrong way, the back of my rib cage, which helps to stimulate your kidneys and your adrenal glands. So you're giving those organs a gentle, gentle massage. Do not bang. It's just a very gentle tap. It actually feels really good if you're doing it right. And we're doing the monster mash. It was a graveyard splash. It was the mash. It was the monster mash. Here we go. I wish I could sing well. I can't. I always wanted to be a good singer. But if I could sing well, I'd belt the whole song out maybe. And bring that to stillness. Here we go. The mash is over. Oh, that was fun. Next, our deep breaths, a forward fold, and then we're going to go into a disappearing chair pose. I'm going to stand sideways. So we're going to inhale up, bend your knees generously, arms up overhead. Exhale as you forward fold. I should have brought my block over, and I should have said, if you have a block or something, I'm going to just come down to, I think I'll come down to here. This feels pretty good. I'm pretty warmed up. Not all the way yet, but pretty warmed up. Still working on some low back issues, but they're better. So I'm into my forward fold. My back is straight. If you're folding and doing this, you are not stretching the hamstrings out properly, or even the back. You're stretching the wrong part of the back. Keep the hump out of your back and keep the back straight in your forward fold. You're just bending from the hip crease. So inhale halfway up. That could be your shins or your thighs, depending on how far you go down. You see my back is still straight. Exhale, inhale all the way up. And slight back bend or crescent pose. Crescent moon. So my head is in line with my arms. And I'm looking at the ceiling and where the wall meet. I'm pulling in my Uddiyana Bandha because I wasn't pulling it in. Breathing normally. Do an inhale and an exhale, forward fold. And also what's important, because I used to do this, felt like I was really down there, but keep your legs and your hips lined up. In other words, don't go backwards and pushing your booty back. That is a strain on the knees also. You can have your knees slightly bent, which is probably better. I tend to hyperextend, so I've been working the last several years to not do that anymore because that's not good on the knee joints. Inhale. Exhale halfway up. And on your next exhale, oh my gosh, my chair has disappeared. You're in chair pose. Standing in chair pose, or trying to sit in your invisible chair, or the disappearing chair. I kind of like invisible chair better. We could pretend, we're having a little tea. What, you're not comfortable in the chairs I provided? Mine's very comfortable. Let's describe our chair. Mine's a nice, cushy chair, have a footrest. I'm not straining my legs at all. I don't know where your chair is. Yeah. And come up. I do like to try to hold, I'm with my clocks. I thought I would go to the sides because when I do side stuff, I never know. I can't see the clocks. Now I'm doing front. I'm going to turn this way because we're going to do another invisible or disappearing chair and hold it for 30 seconds. I like to time it. So standing in tombstone pose, inhale, bending the knees, exhale into your favorite invisible chair. No reclining chairs. We're just sitting, but we haven't quite found the seat yet because it's invisible, right? Holding in your Uddiyana Bandha, your stomach muscle, strengthening that core, press your toes into the mat, strengthen the calves, the hamstrings, the glutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up very slowly. Don't ever bounce up out of a pose unless you just have to. And you can always come in and out of the pose. You don't have to hold it as long as I do it. Our goal is 30 seconds. We're going to do one more. Inhale up. Exhale into your favorite invisible chair. It could be a high chair or a low chair. I'm going to go a little lower this time just to really do these thigh muscles. Oh, we're halfway there. And your hands can be up or in prayer. I might do prayer position, praying that I can stay in it for 30 seconds because my legs feel pretty tired. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly, 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 slowly come up. Ah, excellent. I'm sure you all did a great job in that disappearing chair pose. We're going to do, I'm going to put this down here. And I'm going to move my clock so I can see. and hold the poses like I want to. We're going to do down dog, or otherwise known during the month of October, werewolf. Down werewolf pose. Inhale, just like we have been doing. Exhale, bending at the hip. Walk your hands forward into werewolf pause. And in this pose, your tailbone should be trying to point to the ceiling. Your head is hanging between your arms, so it's nice and loose. You're not having to hold it anywhere. And let's walk that werewolf. You just transformed from a human to a werewolf. So we're getting our werewolf legs on, preparing to go run and play in that forest. We have friendly things in my Halloween theme. We don't do bad things. And bring that to stillness. If your wrists are starting to bother you, come down to your knees and go back into a cauldron's pose, or otherwise known as child's pose. I kind of feel like, doesn't this kind of look like a cauldron? You can just in a lump, especially if you bring your arms in. Anyway, that's what I came up with. I couldn't think of anything else. So that's what you need to do if your wrists bother you. And then you can always come back up, tucking your toes back up into werewolf pose. Because we're going to do a sequence here. We're going to do a three-legged werewolf. We just stepped on a sticker and our paw hurts. So bring that right paw up into the air. And we're going to circle our leg around. 2, 3, 4, 5, and reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're going to try to shake that stone or sticker we got in our paw off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's pulse him straight up to the ceiling. Inhale and exhale, bringing the right knee in between the hands into pigeon pose, which I renamed it owl pose, because I don't think pigeons are very scary. So we're going to do pigeon pose here. And on pigeon pose, you can either stay here or you can bring your arms out in front of you. All this stuff. And come all the way down to the mat. My left foot is laid out flat. My toes are pointing towards the other wall. If your toes are not flexible enough for that, you can bend them. But the goal is to try to get them so you can lay your foot on the top of your foot flat out. If you've lost that flexibility, this is a good opportunity to try to work towards it. And our owl pose, renamed, is a great one for sciatica, hamstrings, low back issues, SI joint issues, anything to do with the low back and down into the glute area. So this is a great thing to do. Now to get out of this pose, we're going to curl the toes on the left leg up, bring our hands up, slowly bring the right knee to meet the left. And go back into our cauldron pose or child's pose. You bring the hands around and rotate the wrist if you need to. Or try to go each direction. And then just bring them back up into the front. Inhale. And as you exhale, bring the right hand to the right and the left hand follows for a nice side stretch in this child's pose. Inhale and exhale to center. Inhale and exhale the left hand to the left. Right hand follows. Oh man, this feels so good. Feels very nice. Inhale and exhale to center. Oh, I've lost my skeleton came off of my chain. Oh well, I'll have to fix that later. So resting in your cauldron's pose, take a couple of breaths. And on your next exhale, forward into tabletop. Okay, and then we're going to repeat all of that with the left leg. I have to make sure I get it all in here. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna curl your toes under, raise your bottom up, wag your tail. You're a happy werewolf, and make sure that you are in the right position. Your tailbone is heading up towards the ceiling. Your head is nestled in between your arms in a comfortable position. Inhale and exhale the left leg up because you got a stone or a sticker in your paw. And then we're going to try to shake it off by twirling our hip around, opening up the hip flexor. 2, 3, 4, holding your stomach. 5, and reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that didn't work. So we're going to pulse the left foot in a flex position up towards the ceiling to try to shake it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent for your glutes. Inhale and exhale the left knee in between the hands. Straighten out the right foot. And you can stay here or you can lower. This side is a lot more flexible than the other. And we're going to stay here about 30 seconds. I didn't count last time, but it was about 30 seconds by the time I finished talking. Let's see. I just need to make that ring tighter because it just fell out of the chain loop. We're halfway there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders, raising your head up, or maybe you stayed up here. Curl the right toes under, lift your bottom up, bring the left leg beneath the right into our werewolf pause. I called it a werewolf pause instead of pose. A pun on that could be pause as in take a second, or pause as in your paws on your legs of a dog or werewolf. And inhale and exhale forward into plank. I could not think of, I guess we could be a skeleton. We could be a skeleton in our plank. Stiff bones. And we're halfway there. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knees down. Roll back into your cauldron pose. And I'm going to rotate my wrist again, just to give them a little break. That was a lot of work on the wrist. Go in each direction. And take your knees and widen them a little bit so that you can come down a little further into this child's pose. Maybe even get your chest on the mat and just turn your head to the left. This is a great posture for your digestion. And it's also another good posture to work on your Kegel muscles. So while you're down here, really squeeze those Kegel muscles in, which will then tighten the ab. Let's do 5 Kegels on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn the head to the right. And we'll do 5 Kegels here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really hold in that Uddiyana Bandha. Put the forehead on the mat. Bring your hands to your shoulder, under your shoulders. Press up. And come into a hero's pose. We got to have a hero in our Halloween. I think we will be the famous Hocus Pocus witch sisters who come in and save the day, right? So we are heroes here in our hero's pose. I'm just going to take a moment. In hero's pose, you can have your feet flat out on the top. If they're not flexible for that, you can have your feet curled and sit up more like this or this, or you can put a blanket underneath you. I try to give all the options. You can put it under your ankles if that's what bothers you, or your feet. Actually, I think this is very comfortable. It's a lot more comfortable than having your feet flat out. Try to adjust your heels so that you're sitting on them. As a kid, you probably sat this way all the time. You didn't know it was good for you. But it is really good, especially if you're sitting up nice and straight for your back muscles, your posture, working your core. If you are really tightening that bandha through there, the Uddiyana Bandha, the stomach ab bandha. And just relax a moment. We're going to gaze up at the moon. Except it's daytime right now, but just pretend. And then inhale and exhale into tabletop. And you'll feel the circulation come back in your feet. And we're going to do scary cat and jack-o'-lantern or cow pose. So get your jack-o'-lantern face on when we're doing cow, and we're going to do scary cat. You can make noises if you do. It was really fun. Monday in my class, one of the guys, he really got into the sound, so we had nice sound effects. Here we are in tabletop. We're going to inhale and exhale, raising the back up, using the ribs to pull the back up. Then you don't overextend into our scary cat. And just breathe normally here. On your next exhale, we're going into cow or jack-o'-lantern face. Big smile. Big eyes. Exhale into scary cat. When we're doing the cat pose, remember that we're moving the ribs back and forth. We're not trying to overextend the back. If your fingers or if your hands get tired, you can go on your fingertips, like a more of a scary cat claw. On your next inhale, and exhale into jack-o'-lantern pose or cow. This time do a nice frown. Nice smile. Inhale, exhale into our last scary cat pose of the day. This is a very gentle spinal massage. We're moving very slowly and not overextending anything. And exhale into cow pose or jack-o'-lantern pose. I just called it that because of the big cow head. I'm thinking, you know, the big jack-o'-lantern head. Inhale and exhale to neutral tabletop. We're going to do a moving table. We're going to elevate our table. So we're going to inhale and exhale the knees up. This is another good one for the core, for your arm strength, and for the feet. And exhale down. Come back into cauldron pose, child's pose, and take a moment of just letting your wrist relax. I'm going to kind of bang my top of my hands onto the mat. Feels good. And I'm going to roll the top of my hand back and forth on the mat around the wrist area. Really feels nice. Actually, I guess you can have your hands wherever is comfortable for you. I'm trying different positions. I like them just back behind me. And I'm just rolling the wrist. I kind of have my fingers up in the air to relieve that tension in the wrist. That was a lot of wrist work. I try to be mindful. If your wrists start hurting, of course, come out of it. You can always go into this child's pose to rest them. Come back up into tabletop. And I'm going to scoot down a little bit. And we're going to do a puppy dog pose or a puppy werewolf. We're just transforming. And how you do that is you stick your tail, wag it a little bit, up in the air. My head is down on the mat. My arms are stretched out and front and far me as possible. And I'm moving forward. Also, this is a heart opener. Getting up on my toes, stretching my legs out, and now we are in Cobra. I'm going to move up on the mat a little bit. Cobra pose. We can't do a Halloween without some kind of snake, right? And I hate snakes, but Cobra pose is very good for your back, your digestion, and your focus. My hands are under my shoulders. I'll have to put them up a little bit further. And I'm coming up into a nice Cobra pose. And if you can try to bend your back up and just don't go too much further with your support of your hands, it's better for your back. We'll just hold this for another 20 seconds. We probably weren't at 10 seconds. Just breathe normally. 3, 2, 1. And we're going to go into crocodile pose. So bring your left hand in front of you so that it is right underneath where your forehead will be if you lay it down. Bring the right hand over the left hand and just lay your forehead down and relax. I have to look at the clock. We're going to do 30 seconds here. Three, 2, 1. And bring the hands back under. Not really, well, the top of my wrist is underneath my shoulders. So that's where it is for Cobra pose. Start lifting your head up and your back, pressing your feet into the mat and your pubic bone into the mat. And then just with your hands, you can give it a little support, which will raise you up just a tiny, tiny bit. It's more like we're doing baby cobra. We're holding it. We're halfway there. Really pull in that Uddiyana Bandha, your stomach muscle, because that will help your low back. And the glute should be tight. 3, 2, 1. Bring your right hand in front of your forehead. The left hand covers the right, and go back into crocodile pose. 30 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring both arms straight out. We're going to go into a, oh, I forgot what I called it. I have to look it up. Eerie wolf pose, that's what I called it. And that is also known as bird dog pose. I knew it was something to do with wolf, but I couldn't remember. I liked eerie wolf pose. So we're on our bellies, and we're going to raise the left hand up and the right foot up, flex the right foot, and stretch it towards the wall that it's pointing to. The head is just in line with the back, so don't raise it up too far. And lower the left hand, the right foot. Inhale. Stretch the right hand forward, left foot back, flex your foot. It's good to flex the foot because that will help to stretch the calf and the hamstring. eerie wolf pose or bird dog pose. Lower the right hand, left foot. Inhale. Exhale, left hand and right foot up. Don't forget to flex your foot so that brings in that nice stretch. Lower the left hand, the right foot, forehead down. Inhale. Exhale, right hand up, left foot up, and don't forget to flex that left foot and stretch. This is so good for the spine. It aligns the whole spine, gets it back in the correct position. And it's good for your digestive system also. And lower everything down. Roll over onto your back. We're going to do, and the guy that did our wonderful sound effects yesterday came up with what I could call this one. It was called the Salem Shakedown. We're going to work on our SI joint. I like that. Salem, sacrum, get it? Sacroiliac joint. And first we're just laying in restorative rest pose here just to acclimate to our back. We've been on our stomach. Let your back muscles kind of relax into the mat. And I have my arms out at a T. I'm going to inhale and look to my left, keeping my shoulder on the mat as the knees are slowly rolling to the right. And there's going to be several sequences in this Salem Shakedown. Inhale the knees up. Knees are slowly rolling to the left and our head is slowly rolling to the right. Your knees should not be touching the floor. If they're touching the floor, you're coming up too far. This is a very gentle low back stretch. Inhale the knees up and then just go side to side very slowly. We're going to do 4 more of these. Very slowly to the left, head to the right, knees up, head to the left, knees to the right. This is our 3rd one. We got 2 more. Inhale, knees up, exhale, knees left, head to the right. This is also good for the digestive system, along with your sacroiliac joint, SI joint. Knees up. Exhale to the right. This is our last one. Head to the left. Should be feeling very nice. Inhale, knees up. Exhale, knees to the left. Head to the right. It's one fluid movement. And then inhale, knees up. Inhale the right knee up. Take your right hand and put it on your thigh muscle. Don't get it on the knee. And you're going to try and push that knee into the wall back there, but your hand is stopping it. You're pushing and pushing against each other. Pushing with your hand, pushing with your leg. And release. Bring the left leg up, 90 degrees. Hand is on the thigh and push. This is specifically for SI joint, sciatica, low back. All of it is involved. And release. Now we're going to bring the right leg up. And this time the right knee is going to try to come across the body. So you're going to use your left hand to keep it from coming across. Push, push, push. It might give you a nice SI joint adjustment even. And release. And bring the left leg up and put it like it's going to come across the body. Right hand on the thigh and push. And release. Bring both legs up. Put the feet together so they're touching. Let me turn this way so you can see. The feet are like this. And the knees are coming apart. And you're going to put your hands on your outer thigh and you're going to try to push your knees further apart. But your hands are not going to let them. Should really be using the stomach muscle there. And release. Place your hands in a fist position. Put them between your legs on the inner thigh. And push. You're trying to push into those hands, but they're pushing out. And release. That should have felt really nice on that low back. Now I'll turn back this way. I'm going to do a crescent pose, a reclined crescent pose. So with your hips up, I'm going to get my timer and pause it. We're going to start Shavasana here in just a moment, but I don't want that to ring while we're in the middle of this pose because this is an important one. So we're going to take and gently lift the hips up and move them a little bit to the right, just like a half inch to an inch. Straighten your legs out. So you should feel kind of lopsided and a little bit already into a crescent pose. Then we're going to take our hands and bring them overhead. Take the left foot to the left because we move to the right and the right foot follows. And if you can, cross that over. And then we're going to try and move the torso a little bit more to the left. So you should be on a very nice banana asana or crescent pose. I'm calling it crescent pose for Halloween. I'm just hanging out here for a few seconds. On your next exhale, release the right foot, bring it to center, left foot follows, straighten the torso up, bring the feet flat on the mat, raise the hips up, and move them slightly over to the left side. Straighten the feet out. Hands are still overhead. Move the right foot to the right, left foot follows, and move the torso over and hang out here for a few seconds. Nice stretch in crescent, reclined crescent pose. Our banana asana. Inhale. Exhale, uncross your foot. Bring the right foot to the center. Bring the torso to the center. Bring the feet on the mat. Raise the hips up and center yourself. Bring the arms down to your side and go up into the troll bridge. Here we go. We got some trolls marching across our bridge. Are we going to let the billy goats pass or not? I know that's not a Halloween thing, but I think trolls are. They should be part of Halloween. They're trollish. I hope you like my sense of humor. I guess I know it doesn't matter because I can't really tell if you're laughing or not, but I'm having a fun time at it. I hope you are. And then exhale down. Bring the knees up. Put your hands underneath your legs and roll side to side into a nice low back roll. This could be a rolling pin roll. If we're chasing those pesky ghosts around or bopping the Frankenstein or werewolf on the head to get away from them, right? We're rolling, rolling, rolling. This is one of my favorite poses here. It feels so good on that low back. Now, start getting ready for your corpse pose, or otherwise known as Shavasana. The official name really is corpse pose. I like to put a bolster under my knees, or if you have a pillow, you put a pillow under your knees. And I'm going to turn this way. If you, I should put my head over here. I have this little neck brace. You get your eye pillow handy. And I'm going to set my timer. I want you to lay down, giving you time to get all settled. Cover up if you need to. And I'm going to get ready for a Shavasana. We're going to do I'm going to lead you through a guided breathing. And then just breathe naturally. It's called, we're just going to do 4-count breathing. So we're going to take inhale through the nose and hold it for the count of 4. Exhale through the mouth. Hold it, pause for the count of 2. Then exhale through the mouth for the count of 4. Pause for 2, and then inhale through the nose. And we're going to do that cycle. Here we go. Inhale nose, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Exhale mouth, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Inhale nose, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Exhale mouth, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Inhale nose, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Exhale mouth, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Inhale nose, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Exhale mouth, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. I hope that you did Shavasana with me. It is actually a very important pose to do. An asana, is it lets all of the things that we did during the practice to coagulate. So start fluttering your eyes. Maybe doing a little last minute stretch. I'll ding the bell in case somebody fell asleep. And when you're ready, turn over onto your side and use your left or your whatever hand is on top to push yourself up to a seated position, nice and slow. Come up here and put on my reading glasses. And if you did the 4-count breathing exercise with me, and you do it 4 times, nose, hold, mouth, hold, nose, hold, mouth, or exhale, hold, that sequence, it comes out to about a 2-minute mindfulness session. So if you are counting your mindfulness sessions, you can count that one as a mindfulness session right there. Spontaneity is the ability to act appropriately and without hesitation in an unplanned moment. Follow your intuition, your intuitive promptings, and explore the full spectrum of your creativity. And I have a quote from Aristotle: "We are what we repeatedly do." So freshen up what you repeatedly do, have some spontaneity, and add a little spookiness this month. Rub your hands together, creating warmth, joy, spontaneity, and peacefulness. Pressing that into your heart center. Bow and honor the light in you, and ask that you bow and honor the light in others as you go throughout this day or this evening or this week or even perhaps the whole month. Namaste. And again, thank you all for joining me. Ta-ta for now. Later. See you next week.